Right, so yesterday, I saw those ads on the public train. What is it? The Wander You? It's either wanderyou.com or wonderyou.com. It's so gross. These people are so obsessed with sex. They put it everywhere. You know, it's just never over with them. You know, while they accuse me of being some kind of like, I don't know, whatever it is, sex addict, which is how could that be any less true? You know, I mean, have you ever heard of a sex addict who hasn't had sex for like 11 years? That's how long ago. It's 11. It's 12. So was I 29? Now I'm 41. So I mean, you gotta be kidding me. But anyway, after that, sort of like later in the day, I listened to Your Body is a Wonderland out of spite, basically. Yeah, pretty much out of spite. Out of spite. It's also like a nice song. It's also very anti-conglomerate in the way that it talks about women, right? It was from a time in John Mayer's life when he was he a nicer guy than he is now? I don't know. You know, I think what happens. John Mayer is an interesting celebrity case, right? Which is that he, like a lot of these people are talented. You know, I mean, certainly the ones that I think I've interacted with the most are the ones that tend to have, you know, talent, intelligence, that kind of thing. But it's just, I think it's just kind of more the nature of what they do that turns them into what they are. And John Mayer in particular, I think perhaps is an example of what can happen with like a musician. A particular type of musician who is always a star of the show. He's always a star of the show. He's been the star of the show since whenever it was. Was he 20 something? You know, early 20s when he got to be a pretty big star. And so it really is true. It really it's like even the most sought after like movie star can still understand that he can be replaced like in the kinds of things that he's doing, right? So yeah, it's him and Leonardo DiCaprio. It's still really sort of like vying for first place in terms of like having made me dislike them the most. Yeah, in terms of having made me dislike them the most, the quickest out of all of the celebrities who I interacted with, simply I think because they were the biggest stars. You know, I mean, Leonardo DiCaprio just had no concept of what it meant to not just be the totally dominant person, right? I mean, literally I think his attitude towards me was like, I don't even know. It was like I had literally done something wrong. Like I had done something wrong to criticize him at all. To even have my own side of things. To even have the idea that there was anything that he could possibly do, if he was like indicating interest in me, that I shouldn't just be totally like flattened by. To be like, oh my God, he likes me. That's my life now means something. You know, I was nobody before and now I'm somebody, and how dare, blah, 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 right? But even he can be aware that, you know, what he does is something that somebody else can do. And in fact, it's true that someone who is like a musician for the most part, especially a talented one, other people are, it's not like somebody else can like just step in, be like, all right, well, I'm gonna be John Mayer for tonight. I'm the understudy for John Mayer. It just doesn't happen. Which, you know, I mean, it's just kind of the way it is. And so you got to kind of look at how it all works. You know, I mean, do you really have to have this kind of what's the word I'm trying to think of, like how to describe it? Is that really the way that things have to be? You know what I mean? I mean, it's true that there would be no John Mayer without John Mayer, right? But does it necessarily mean that like every good musician who is basically, you know, always a star of a show has to also turn into a terrible person? You know what I mean? And I just like, does it really? Is that really what it means? You know, does it have to continue to be that way? I mean, I don't know that it does. Certainly, I don't need to wait around to find out if it's going to change. But yeah, I mean, it's like there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do in private that the conglomerate isn't either gonna try to find out about or try to find out about it. So yeah, I did. I listened to a couple John Mayer songs yesterday just out of spite. And as far as Your Body is a Wonderland song is concerned, it's like, you know, that's sort of time before basically like some of the most powerful people and forces in the world were trying to say that, you know, women are subhuman. So yeah, I listen to that song sometimes. Sure, you know, some of his other music is okay, but just no doubt. No, there's no question whatsoever that he and Leonardo DiCaprio get the blue ribbon, get first place, having celebrities that made me just like them the most in the shortest amount of time.